Ah, I see. So it could have been CERN. It could be that somehow Rintaro found not Rintaro, but CERN or somebody found out about Rintaro's email. Thus, they figure out that, oh fuck, one of the people from the resistance are going back in time to try to kill Kurisu in order to stop us from developing like the time machine accordingly. That's no good. And thus CERN would go on this mission to stop Suzuha from doing so. And they succeeded. So they fucked up with Suzuha's time machine because they found out about Rintaro's email that said that Kurisu has died. Come to think of it, the first time I met Moeka was the day after I sent the email.
泳がされてたんだな、僕ら。
マユシーはね、平泳ぎが得意だよ。
はいはい、水中 M 字開脚、水中 M 字開脚。
しかし、一体どうやって補足を？メールなんて世界中で1日に何億という数が送られているんだぞ。
セルンはエシュロンのネットワークを利用して世界規模でタイムマシンについての情報を収集してるの。
Echelon. Oh, parallel. According to conspiracy theories, Echelon is an advanced signals interception system based in the United States and operated by the National Security Agency. However, American authorities have never publicly admitted to Echelon's existence, and no proof that it exists has ever been found. Participating countries allegedly include the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, but not France. Not France. As an ally of the United States, Japan can allow the construction of domestic Echelon stations in exchange for access to the intercepted data. The 11-cage antenna array located at Misawa Air Base in Aomori, Japan, is rumored to be one such station. These stations are said to intercept, collect, and analyze a wide range of signals. You know what this means, boys? We're going on a mission Mission Impossible kind of mission, to go and screw with the network station in Aomori, and thus we would no longer be intercepted by CERN, and thus we wouldn't be controlled / monitored the way we have been until this point. A universe that exists separate from ours, it is believed that some parallel worlds may be strikingly similar to ours, even containing duplicates of ourselves. Dupe? Okay.
エシュロンだと本当に実在していたのか？
As an expert on conspiracies, I understand the implications, and they terrify. No one else seems to get what Suzuha's saying, though.
セルンはさ、自分たち以外のタイムトラベル研究についてエシュロンで常にアンテナを張って監視してるんだよ。
For example, an email that appeared to have come from the future.
だから、
Oh.
捉えられた最初のメールデータをセルンのコンピューターから消去しなきゃ。
Yeah, it makes sense because there's always a Rintaro that sends an email from the future to the current Rintaro, which we of this the Rintaro that we've been sent, our future Rintaros that send to like a past Rintaro that becomes the present Rintaro, if you get what I'm trying to say over here. The point is, whenever we had like these emails like in our phone that it had come to them from the future, they would intercept that. Oh my god. So it is true that CERN has this technology that can tell, well, I guess I was thinking in a more godly way, like somebody has like telepathic powers that can see into the world lines. But I guess this is as close as it can get for them to monitor like time traveling information to get them to know what to do in these time traveling missions.
そうすればセルンは君たちには気づかない。タイムマシンが2034年に完成することもなくなる。それどころかタイムマシンの研究そのものが頓挫するかも。
So, by conclusion, if I'm to go with the theory that if we send like some email in the past to try to go into a different attractor field, CERN is gonna notice that. They're gonna conclude, oh fuck. They're gonna do something to change Mayuri's fate. Even though I don't know if they know that Mayuri's death would be a converging point. It kind of feels that way, reason why she always dies, and they seem gung-ho on killing Mayuri, even if Moeka may not realize it. They're gonna figure it out, so a good kind of way of dealing with this would be, as I said, I was saying it in a joking way, but maybe we should go to the one to the station in Aomori to try to stop it, and then we send an email. I'm just trying to find like there are times during the story when like, ooh, let's go adventure, let's travel the world and all that. First was going to Europe to confront CERN ourselves, and now we have this, maybe do like some secret operative mission to go into, like, infiltrate a building and then stop them, like spies and such. That would be freaking awesome. Can we do that? In other words, deleting that data will take us to the attractor field where CERN doesn't build a time machine.
Hmm. でもセルンのデータベースはハックしたけど、それっぽいデータはなかったような。
IBN5100。
おお。
Okay. Need to find a record of the email. CERN's database, and yeah, because if they don't have the information, then we can just do whatever we want. And I guess, yeah, okay, so that's why the Rounders, the Knights of the Round Table, are so interested in the IBM 5100, so that we wouldn't try to stop. No, we wouldn't. They trying to stop us from finding it, so that we wouldn't delete all their data. That would give them the edge, and thus we would be able to go back in time and try to stop them. Because as long as they have the data, they have all the means of stopping us from trying to stop them. So if we find the IBM 5100, that will be a win for us.
そうか IBN5100 で構築されていたあのデータベースか
あの中にきっとエシュロンから集めたデータが蓄積されてる。
So that's what it is.
誰よなぜもっと早く IBN5100 を使わなかったのだ
いや、使わなかったのだとか言われても、そもそも持ってないし。
You know what I mean. Well, actually, you don't. But we know what we meant. Like, in a different attractor field or world line or whatever.
何を言っている俺が手に入れてきたではないか
No, he doesn't. Remember, Rintaro.
はい
Right. That was on a different roll line. On this roll line, I never found the IBM 5100.
私の役割はさ、君たちに IBN5100 を託すことなんだよ。
Okay.
持っているのか
Suha shakes her head.
1975年に行って手に入れる。
Ah, that's what. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. The year the IBM 5100 went to market. I know, because John Titor in 2000 said that was his mission. Oh, okay. Was that John Titor Suzuha too? Anyway, if Suzuha can get us an IBM 5100, then we can leave this attractor field and jump to a better world line, where CERN never finds us and their time machine is never completed. Mayuri won't have to die.
よしならば全は急げだ鈴葉には今すぐにでも1975年に飛んでもらおう
そうしたいのは山々なんだけど。
Suzuha bows her head apologetically. I look at her burnt hand. She's hiding it from Mayuri and Dao, But I can see the blood staining my handkerchief. However, this is confusing because... like, it goes back to that whole thing of how... Like, even if Suzuha were to leave to 1975, how does it benefit us in our road line? Rintaro himself has to go in order for, I guess, us to benefit from this entire thing. It's always a confusing thing, like... Unless we are to go with the whole preordained kind of part of Suzuha's model. I could fuck it. She hasn't given it a name, so I'm gonna call it Suzuhayan interpretation. Fuck it. So if like the Copenhagen part of the Suzuhayan interpretation says that there's a preordained thing. So technically speaking, maybe like Suzuha would go back in 1975, acquire an IBM 5100, and then she's gonna hide it somewhere. Like, I don't know, just hide it in like deep in the ground, like dig, and then I don't know, make it so that she writes a note that us in 2010 would find at some point, and it would say, hey, it's me, Suzuha. I found an IBM 5100 in 1975. I found it at this particular part, at this particular location. Go ahead and find it. Like, that would be like a preordained kind of thing, I guess. If we are to stay in this exact same role line and we let Suzuha go into the past. It hurts to look at. Maybe we should get her to a doctor.
Time machine は壊れているんだったな。
Yeah, that's right.
直せないの？無理。私は父さんが作ったものに乗ってきただけだから。仕組みそのものはマニュアルを完璧に暗記してるけど。
That doesn't mean she knows how to repair it. And there's no guarantee that a time machine from 2036 can be repaired with today's technology.
タイムリープマシンで遡るのは天音さんのタイムマシンが壊れる前へ。
っていうか、タイムリープマシン使う気なん？実験しないってことでファイナルアンサーじゃなかった？
We are above that at this point, Daro. I still haven't told Daro about my time leaping. There's no time to explain. I mean, even then... So, Kuriso, you're saying we can use the time machine to go back before Amane-san's time machine broke. I just... Like, if I'm to go with the idea that... what I said about the time machine which led to whether Kuriso dies or not, that would mean that we would have to go into a role line where instead of it being broken, it would mean that the time machine would land perfectly on top of the roof, which means that not only we would have to go back, but we gotta make sure that Suzuha of that role line would not go after Kurisu to kill her. That I feel like that's something important that you should take into account, Rintaro. I hope that he makes the connection, if that's what we're doing.
場合によっては使う。それで、鈴葉よ。いつ壊れたかわかるか？
きっとこの前の深夜に降った雨だよ。マシンの中水浸しになってたから密閉されてるはずなのに。
Oh, you mean... Okay, well, that would surely help. Like, I guess when the time machine broke through the building, it technically still was able to be used. It's just that in the meantime, due to lack of maintenance and all that, by now it just broke because it hasn't been repaired until this point. So technically, maybe we could go like a couple of days earlier and find it that we could still use it. That would actually be favorable instead of what I was thinking. I kind of don't want to toy with the thought that we would have to change Kurisu's fate or try to save Kurisu. Maybe if we go and use it before the rain happened, we could still use it, maybe.
あんだけ派手にビルに激突してんだし、その時に穴でも開いたんじゃね？
あれは激突したんじゃないよ。座標計算にわずかな誤差があったせいで、あそこに出現しちゃっただけ。
Okay, can you tell us why the coordinates were slightly off? Because that's what I'm
タイムマ
curious.
シンって結構不安定なんだよね。
それで雨が降ったのは何日だった？
10日の朝、夜明け前には降っていた。
The timely machine can only cover 48 hours in a single time leap. In a single leap. And the timely machine was completed today, the 13th, at 2 p.m. That means we can go farther back than 2 p.m. on the 11th.
ダメだ。タイムリープマシンじゃ届かない。
I thought we had a glimmer of hope.
直す努力はしてみるべきだと思うわけだが。
そうだよ。タイムマシンならね、時間はあんまり関係ないもん。
Technically no. Like what time is it? I get to think that soon enough, like CERN is gonna come after us. Kurisu, Suzu, and I say nothing. We know. In less than 2 hours, Mayuri will die. It's already 5:30. And there's barely enough time to sneak into Ariakey, let alone fix Suzu's time machine. Maybe I should leave now to 2 p.m. on the 11th. Then we'll have 2 full days to fix the machine.
みんな、小腹が空いただろう。空いたはずだ。
いきなりなんぞ？
マユシは腹ペコです。
As expected from a glutton. I take a 10,000 yen bill out of my wallet.
マユリ、ダル、買い出しに行ってきてくれ。それを食べながら改めて対策を練ろうではないか。
わあ、オカリン、こんな大金どうするの？
I don't know, just do whatever you want. It's not gonna concern the future Rintaro from now on, that's for sure.
これで買ってこいと言っているのだ。釣りはいらんというより、全部使い切ってこい。
平然と1万円もおごってみせる。さすがオカリン、僕たちにできないことをやってのける。そこにしびれる、憧れる。
Christ, that is a lot of money now that I think about it. Or... Actually, no, never mind. Mayuri and Daru will leave in high spirits. I knew the 10,000 yen bill would work.
クリスティーナ、それにタイターよ。
タイターって私のこと？
他に誰がいる？
なんでいきなり呼び方変わんの？
タイターの中の人だからだ。
そうだけどさ。
無駄よ。岡部がまともに名前を呼ぶことなんてめったにないから諦めて。
そういえば私もバイト選手とかって妙な呼ばれ方しかされてなかった。
二人とも聞け。俺は11日の14時にタイムリープする。そこでタイターから改めて今の説明をしてもらう。その上で今のこの時間13日17時までにタイムマシンを修理する。
当てはあるの？
今から2時間もがくよりはマシという程度だ。直せなければ何度でも2日間を繰り返せばいい。
ごめん。
タイターよ、お前には必ず IBN5100 を手に入れてもらわなければならない。これはお前のためでも未来のためでもない。あくまでマユリを助けるためのミッションであることを忘れるな。独善的だと言いたければ言えばいい。だが俺は誰の指図も受ける気はない。
Kurisu and Suzu give an encouraging nod in agreement.
よし、作戦開始だ。
作戦名は言わないのか？
Who cares about that? This isn't a game. His life hangs in the balance.
北欧神話でいいネーミング候補が見つからなかった？
なんで北欧神話？
深い意味はないと思う。あえて言うなら、中二病患者はゲルマン系ネーミングが大好きだからってところじゃない？
そういえば私がいたレジスタンスでも作戦名はほとんどゲルマン系のネーミングだったな。なんでって聞いたら、これは伝統だとかなんとか言われた。
26年後にも中二病患者っているんだな。
くだらない会話をしているな。
Imagine if the leader of the resistance is Rintaro himself. I mean, they technically did mention that Rintaro is a terrorist, aka part of the resistance that would fight against CERN, who would consider terrorists. Imagine, Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. There's no time for this nonsense. Caduceus sets up the time leap machine while Suzuha goes to turn on the 42-inch CRT. So from the so if I am right, the story is basically doing like a cheeky reference / foreshadowing to Rintaro being revealed as a leader of the future resistance, because he names all the operations and soldiers and such. I mean, Norse mythology film names. Well, before Mayuri returns, I leap. Alright? Blech. When I come to, I'm standing with my phone in hand. While I wait for the ringing in my ears to subside, I check the date and time on my phone screen. Okay. Well, we're here, Rintaro. August 11th, 2:21 p.m. Alright, I have 2 more days. As a matter of fact, I left twice. First to 2 p.m. on the 13th, when the machine was completed. From there, I leapt an additional 48 hours to 2 p.m. on the 11th. It was my first consecutive leap, but it seems to have gone well. I immediately head downstairs to see Suzuha. I'm relieved to see that her hand isn't burned. On the downside is, now we're in Taro, we're gonna have to do the boring part of time leaps, which is basically like retelling everything and explaining to them and having them at current with everything that is going on. When I explain the situation, Suzuha races to Radicon to confirm my story. After she realizes that I'm telling the truth, I take her back to the lab and have her repeat the explanation she gave us before I time leaped. We came to the conclusion that all we can do right now is try our best to repair Suzuha's time machine.
じゃあ早速見に行ってみるべき。
Daro is initially enthusiastic. I guess Suzuha's talk of tractor fields and divergence and correcting history's mistakes got his blood pumping. Oh. All the words, all the... what is it called? Like careless whispers? Like the whisper nothings? All that into his ear, it gives him that energy.
ちょっと待って待って。
Mayuri stops us as we're about to leave the lab.
ねえねえ、みんなもう一つ忘れてるよ。
もう一つなんぞ？
すずさんのお父さんは今はどこにいるの？
Alright. I thought Suzuha was lying about that. But when I turn to her, she looks away.
父さんのことはどうでもいいでしょ？どうでもよくないよ。それにタイムマシンを直すのに時間かかるんでしょ？だったらその間マユシーはすずさんのお父さんを探そうかなと思って。
I mean, not to sound like uncaring right over here, but it also maybe the dad can help like if we were to find him and maybe convince him to help us, we could fix the time machine like much quicker.
いや、しかし
When I show reluctance, Mayuri puffs out her cheeks.
わあ、オカリンってばダメなんだよ。約束はね、ちゃんと守らなきゃ。
What promise?
この前約束したでしょ。すずさんのお父さんはみんなで探そうって。
That's right. We convinced her to stay by promising to help look for her father.
そうだったな。
あのね、すずさんがここに来たのはね、使命とかもあるけど、やっぱりお父さんに会いたかったからかなって思って。もしそうならマユシーは会わせてあげたいです。
If Mayuri feels that strongly about it, there's no way I can refuse.
椎名まゆり、君っていい子だね。
Suzuはsniffles.
その通りだよ。この町に来れば会えると思ったの。父さんはさ、2010年に秋葉原にいたことは分かってるんだ。
本当にいるのか？
いるよ。失礼だな。この時代ならきっとまだ若くてかっこいいね。
名前はバレルタイターだったか？
うん、そう。ああ、外国人さん？うん、多分日本人。バレルタイターはレジスタンス時代のコードネームだから、今の2010年の時点だとまだそう名乗ってないと思う。
So that's why Suzu called herself John Titor.
父さんの本名はさ、私知らないんだ。実の娘なのにね。
Suzu looks like she's about to cry for an instant, but she quickly covers it with a bitter smile.
教えてくれなかったし、聞かせてもらう前に死んじゃったから。
Hearing that, I realize how hellish the world she came from must be.
では、アマネという名はどこから？
母さんのせいだよ。
つまり手がかりはなし。
手がかり？あ、そういえば。
Suzu claps her hands together and starts patting her pockets. A few seconds later, she reaches into one and pulls out
ピンバッジ？
a pin, OSHM, a polo, a chicken. I've seen Suzu fiddling with it before. Just a regular pin, the kind you stick on your hat or bag.
なんか書いてあるよ。
It reads OSHM A. Oh, that's a set. Okay, that's a 7 and a 1 and zeros. A7010.
これ父さんの形見なんだよね。
形見？
誰？ググってみろ。
Google it. Dao runs a search, but gets only incomprehensible foreign sites.
父さんは秋葉原周辺にいたらしいからさ、海外のサイトは抜きにして考えていいと思う。
日本語で OK ってことか。
He narrows the search down to Japanese sites. I mean, he was part of the resistance, so I assume that that is a pin with an assigned number to him, like that tells his rank or order or something like that in the resistance. That's what comes to mind at first. But even then, none of the results look relevant.
全然わかんね
The kind that he put on his uniform or something, maybe.
でもこれはきっとヒントになるよ。
With Suzuha's permission, I take a picture of the pin.
というわけで、すずさんのお父さん探しに賛成の人。
Yeah, sure thing. I want to argue that there's no time for that. But Mayuri is right when she says that the time machine won't be ready for a while. I guess there's no harm in letting her have her way. After all, there's no point in running, not even with 2 days head start. Even if I drag Mayuri to the ends of the earth, we wouldn't be able to escape her death. I know that now. Because they're
反対は
rounders.
しない。
おかりんありがとう。
Daru raises his hand in agreement. So does Kurisu. It's decided. We'll help Suzuha find her father.
みんな、サンキュー。
And hopefully he's gonna help us in this.
でも、私はあくまで1975年へ行くことを優先したい。それが父さんの意思だったからさ。てなわけで、タイムマシン修理のめどが立ったら、父さんを探すのは諦めるってことで、どうかな？それでいいの？そんだけ探して見つかんないならさ、つまり会える運命になかったってことだと思うし。
It's a relief to hear Suzuha say that.
で、どうやって探すん？
ピンバッジしかヒントはないのだ。これを元にするしかないだろう。餅は餅屋とも言うし、マニアなショップを当たってみるか。
マニアなショップって？
秋葉にはマニア御用達のアンダーグラウンドのショップが数多くあるだろう。
It's hard to sneak into Rarikan in the daytime. There isn't a crowd out front like before, but pedestrian traffic remains constant. It takes us about 30 minutes to find a way in. Kurisu is back at the lab, working on the time leap machine. It needs to be complete by 2 PM on the 13th. If she's late, it could affect my ability to time leap, which would lower my chances of saving Mayuri. Yeah. On the downside, if something happens and she invents the time machine like later, I mean, still within the time frame of being attacked by CERN, like, we would be able to go back in time 2 days, but much later. On the 11th. Like, later than 2 PM. So, speaking of Mayuri, she wandered off somewhere in search of Suzuha's father.
どうだ？
I called to Daru, who's examining the flooded satellite. I mean, the time machine, while Suzuha and I keep a lookout. Daru crawls out of the machine. He is covered in sweat, and his breathing is heavy. We quickly help pull his huge body out. The time machine is completely visible from the street. If someone were to see us up here, they might report us to the police. It's been 2 weeks since the satellite appeared, but Akiba still has tourists who come just to see it. They need to take care not to be noticed. The question still stands. Even if now we know, like, the nature of this giant device as Suzuha's time machine, why is it that nobody decided to just take it away? I get the feeling that there's some government pull in this that tells everybody, nobody touches that time machine, like right there, leave it there. Meaning that, could it be possible that there is some organization there, that government or something, like the I guess it kind of depends. Where does the resistance start? I mean, I said that before, that it could have started with Rintaro, but could it be that there's some other organization out there that is not the Rounders or CERN or the Committee of 300 that is going against all these, that would eventually form the resistance against those organizations, like CERN and Rounders and such? In that sense, that same organization / maybe the government is trying to keep the time machine right there so that Suzuha would try to use it. But in that case, if the time machine is broken, couldn't have somebody just come in here to repair it? Why is it that only, like, they're helping, like, whoever it is that is keeping the time machine here without anybody interfering in taking it away or something like that, is leading Suzuha to her devices and, you know, like, in secret. Why? I don't know. Like, somebody is helping in the scene, but at the same time not really. Because now we need to fix the time machine, and nobody is helping us with that. If there is somebody who's trying to keep this time machine here.
この中、むちゃくちゃ熱い件について。
Because it's so weird that the time machine is still here, that the police or somebody, like nobody would take this off the building.
蒸し風呂ってレベルじゃねえぞ。この炎天下でマシンの中にいたら干物になるねマジで。ちなみにこのマシンバランス崩して下に落ちたりしないよな。
Yeah, time machine is balanced precariously on the ledge, but the police have hooked up support wires, so Daru probably has nothing to worry about. Okay, so there has been some interference with the machine by keeping it there, at the very least that it wouldn't fall on the streets. That's good.
治りそう？
いや、まだ確証はないけど、でもさ、ちょっと触ってみて気づいたんだよね。これってなんか電話レンジと似てるかもって。
じゃあ直せる可能性もあるんだな。
いや、だから確証はないって、もうちょっと調べないと。
So, is there some CRT like inside that works in a similar fashion as well?
誰よ、スーパーハカーよ。すべてはお前の腕にかかっていると言っていい。世界を救ったスーパーハカー。お前は2036年においてタイムマシンの母マキセ・クリスに代わり人々から崇め立てまつられることになるだろう。
ハカーじゃなくてハッカーって言えっつってんだろう。
とにかく2日で何とかしてくれ、ダル。
I place my hand on Daru's shoulder and look straight into his eyes. I love that Daru doesn't even concern himself with his future image that Rintaro is putting here of being famous and all that. He's just worried. He's just more concerned that he keeps saying his title wrong.
お前だけが頼りなんだ。
自信はないよ。そもそもなんで2日なん？
それは
Because that's when Mayuri will die. But I can't say that.
2日後がさ、リング得意点を作るのに一番いい気象条件なんだよ。それを逃すとあと1年は次のチャンスがないわけ。
Nice excuses, huh? Yeah, like in 2 days, the perfect condition for a morning glory to form will happen. And if we miss that, then bye-bye morning glory. We only have like maybe next year we're finally gonna be able to create like a perfect glider in order to reach the morning glory again. But nah.
そうだ、そういうことだ。
2日で直せとか無茶言うなっつーの。
ならばそんなお前にフェイリスと1日デートできる権利をやる。やってくれるな。
いいですとも。
Yeah, of course. Neuron activation when it comes to Faris, that's for sure. Great. I just need to figure out how I'm going to convince Faris. And for that note, interact with Faris some more to begin with and see what her deal is in this entire story. OSHM A70110. Well, 10. We're searching for something with the same cryptic logo as this mysterious pin. OSHM. OSHM. Honestly, I didn't think it would be this difficult. Akiba has plenty of niche stores, but they're all for electronic goods and PC parts. There aren't that many selling accessories like Suzua's spin. We check every one we can find, but come home empty-handed. None of the store employees have any idea where it came from either. You know, imagine our fucked up situation where the only way that we're gonna be able to find out about the nature of this pin is through like moe culture stores that we originally had before we transformed it into more before we transformed Akiba into a more electronics based culture city. We need the moe back in order to solve the mystery. We even checked nearby neighborhoods like Ueno and Asakusa. Nothing. Suzuha and I returned to the lab with heavy hearts. Although I guess in that sense, I guess if I were to go down that path, it would mean that whoever had this pin, like Suzuha's father had this pin, was a very huge otaku before to begin with. Kurisu emerges from the development room to greet us. She is alone.
その顔じゃ成果はなしか。
ダルは
戻ってない。暗くなったし、直接帰ったんじゃない？
It's too dark to work at Raikan now. We can't use lights, because that would be too conspicuous to the people below. Mayuri isn't around. Is she making any progress in the search for Suzuha's father?
なんか悪いね。こんなことしてる場合じゃないのにさ。
お前のためではない。すべてはマユリを助けるためだ。
Well, that's a poor choice of words. It's not for you that we're searching your father. Or is that like the context? Yeah, that's a poor choice of words, Rintaro. I'll investigate tomorrow based on the information I find. There's a pin collecting group on a site called Frepara, where everyone shows off their collections. I posed there, asking for information. I'm sleeping on the couch when a loud alarm rings in my ears. Yeah. What? I jump up and see Kurisu and Suzuha. Kurisu is holding her phone, and that's the source of the sound.
Good morning.
Buongiorno. Her sore expression says it's not good at all. I really should put herself in my shoes and see what it's like to be woken up suddenly like that. Yeah, put yourself in Rintaro's shoes, Kurisu, of time leaping like all this time. I checked the time on my phone. It's just before 7 a.m. on the 12th, okay?
起こしてくれたのか。助かる。
別にモーニングコールしたわけじゃない。
岡部倫太郎に見てほしいものがあってさ、起こしてもらったの。
I realized that there's a strange subject sitting on the table in front of me. The number.
これは？
Wait, hold on a second. If I'm right, and I'm thinking that this is the attractor field divergence number and not roll line divergence number, let me check my notepad and see if it's the same as last time. Yep, it's exactly the same as the last time that it changed. And I wrote this. When we time traveled by sending Kurisu to not stop Rintaro from stalking Suzuha the day before, thus catching Suzuha and helping her feel better with the party, it changed from 0.409420 to 0.337187. So yeah, that is the last time, and that is the last time that we used the D-mail to change that divergence number, aka we are literally in the same attractor field. We just jumped to different roll lines because of all the times that we tried to save Mayuri with no luck. So, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the number did not change like whatsoever. Wow.
ダイバージェンスメーター。今、私たちがいるこの世界線がどこなのかを数値で表すことができるんだよ。
The current roll line. Well, I guess each roll line would have the exact same number because it's, I mean, technically the same number as that of the attractor field. Each roll line within that same attractor field would have that kind of divergence. right? Is that it?
私がもともといた2036年の世界線を 0% とした数値だから、あくまで相対的なものなんだけどさ。
The original roll line, which corresponds to 0.
作ったのか。
2036年から持ってきた。
うん。これはニキシー缶だな。いいセンスだ。未来ガジェット9号に認定したいぐらいだ。
Nixie tubes.
これ一体どういう仕組みなの？世界線の数値化なんて可能とは思えない。
Suzuha shrugs.
私もわかんない。
わからない。
これ作ったの誰か知ってる？
I wonder who. How should I know? Oh, joking aside, it's her father.
君だよ。岡部倫太郎。
Eh?
は？
君が作った。確か今から11年後ぐらいに君の持ってる特殊な力を応用させたらしいよ。
そうなのか。
Alright, okay.
このメーターがあれば岡部以外でも世界線の変動を確認できる、そういうことか。
違う。多分ここに表示されてる数値が変化してもそれに気づけるのは岡部倫太郎だけ。
は？それじゃあ意味ないじゃない。もっとまともなもの作りなさいよ、岡部。
What is he supposed to do? We don't know what happens within the next 11 years. How should we know? Actually, I feel like I did ask Rintaro before, like, whenever we sent, like, the emails in the past and the numbers kept changing. Like, did you notice that, Rintaro? Because, by what Suzuha is saying right over here, it does seem that you future Rintaro would definitely notice that and see that number, like, change whenever we change attractor fields. I ignore Chris' complaints and look at the meter again. And this is something I made. 15 years have passed since I completed it. 11 years will pass before I complete it. It's a strange feeling. Wait, so 11 years, that will make it 20... Wait, 11 years? So it will be 2021. Okay.
これの仕組みは作った本人しか知らない。だから知りたかったら11年待つしかないかな。そうすれば自分で答えを見つけられるはずだから。
未来で俺と会ったのか。
She did say I was an infamous terrorist in 2036. For some reason, Suzuha's expression darkens momentarily.
一度もないよ。
そうか。で、このメーターを今ここで俺に見せた意味は？
So, I guess similar to Kurisu, you knew of Rintaro, but from a distance, as a infamous person in the world.
メーターの数値が 1% を超えたとき、君はベータ世界線にたどり着いたことになる。
Yeah. Like, I'm still questioning, just like last time, I was thinking about what it means to reach, like, 1% and what it would mean to reach 0%, because, as I said before, like, I noticed the numbers change and they keep decreasing all the way to 0, which, in my eyes, it meant that something bad would happen, or, I don't know, maybe. And at some point, somebody did say that if we were to reach like 1% somehow, I don't know how, we would reach an attractor field, or in this case, like beta roll line, a different roll line from a different attractor field, like beta attractor field. We would reach a point where CERN will no longer, like the committee of 300 will no longer control the world with their time machine. There would not be like a dystopia.
1%。
そう。1% を突破さえできたら、椎名真由里は助けられるっていうこと。
Ah, I see. Reach 1% divergence and you'll save Mayuri. reach a different attractor field? Well, if I am to understand this, like, even if we don't reach like 1%, we still change attractor fields. It's just that apparently, like, or if we were to reach like 1%, that would be like the best outcome to save my beauty. I stare at the glowing red numbers. They don't budge. Just under 0.6%. It seems so easy, but there are 6 digits after the decimal point, and no tens place. What does that mean? Something tells me it won't be as easy as it looks.
これは君にあげる。どうせ私が持ってても意味ないしね。有意義に使ってよ。
Yeah. We're definitely gonna need to figure out how this works. Based on recommendations from the BBS thread, I spend the morning visiting stores in Akiba. My destinations run the gamut of from otaku stores packed with anime goods to souvenir shops full of Olympic memorabilia. I even visit a few that specialize in locally manufactured goods. But although I hit just about every kind of store that could be considered niche, I'm unable to find anything that resembles Suzuwa's pin. Maybe I should go all the way to Ikebukuro or Nakano. I'm trying to figure out what OSHM means. Like, it is definitely an acronym for something. I start heading back to the lab, but just then, a street vendor catches my eye. The storekeeper is a foreigner covered in tattoos. The table next to him is covered with accessories and other fashion items. This is the first time I've seen such a stylish street stand in Akiba. Most vendors just sell random junk. It's not like I have anything to lose, so I walk over and check out the selection. Among the various accessories, I see a number of metal pins. What a coincidence. Could he have a pin like Suzuha's? I don't see OSHM A7010 logo on any of the displayed accessories, but I rather ask just to be sure. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should use English? Our eyes meet. His are as bright and blue as the sky. Rintaro using his English? Okay, so here's the thing. Even if I knew jack squat about Steins Gate when I started this adventure, I knew of some of the memes / moments that could be that had Rintaro in them, and one of them was Rintaro using his broken English and all that. And so, you know, surprisingly, for like all the adventure that we went through thus far, I haven't seen I don't remember Rintaro using his English like whatsoever. Could this be the moment? The legendary moment that like I've seen plenty of times in the past? Let's see. I quickly look away. Damn, he must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with.
Hey, Master! I am Mad Scientist. So cool! Son of a bitch!
There you go! That is it. Wow. The legendary moment. So cool! Son of a bitch!
Hi, 何ですか?
He smiles away. Toothy smile. Nice teeth. And answers in Japanese. Oh. I was hoping for more of a reaction.
ちょっと聞きたいことがある。
I take the photocopy of Suzuha's pin out of my pocket.
これに見覚えが?
The man stares at it for a while, then shrugs and shakes his head in an exaggerated manner typical of Westerners.
これの出所が知りたい。調べることはできないか?
Yo, yo. Help this brother. Son of a bitch.
思い出し。Sorry, ちょっと難しいですね。
What is he saying?
By the way, これはどこで手に入れたものなんですか?
それを知りたい。報酬は出す。
ごめんなさい。
He apologizes in broken Japanese. It looks like this is another dead end. Just in case, I give him a contact information and ask him to get in touch if he finds out anything. Then I turn to leave.
岡部倫太郎。
Yo, yo, hero! You look cool today. Son of a bitch. Suzu was standing a short distance away. She's holding a drink. It's my favorite, Dr. P. No, wait, that's cola. Ew! Cola?
Please 飲む
You weakling. Who goes around with this kind of drink? Tuh. You should know better. You should know about the superior drink that is Dr. P. I accept the offer and quench my thirst while leaning on the roadside fence. Alright, well, might as well. Last time I saw her, Suzo was on her way to Kanda to continue the search. How long has she been standing here?
成果は
なし。それよりさっきの英語何 なんかバカっぽかった。そうクールって。この時代だとああいう英語が標準なの？
そんなわけあるか。
そうなんだ。じゃあ岡部倫太郎オリジナルか。私の生まれた時代にはさ海外旅行なんてなかったからよくわかんないんだよね。
海外旅行がない？行ったことがないではなく。
Oh my god. Well, dystopia, what can I say?
そう。旅行なんて娯楽はなかったな。渡航許可はめったに下りなかったし。だから外国人を見たのはこの時代に来てから。
Like on that note, if we're on this kind of topic, what about the information that is on the internet? Like, how much internet access did you even have in the future versus how it feels these days? Because I get the feeling that it's limited in that aspect as well. You know, control the information and all that from the government. So in the future, no one is allowed to leave Japan. And Japan was like that a few centuries ago too, when the Tokugawa shogunate closed the country to the west. These unlike certain set international relations back hundreds of years. Baby! What can I say? Perhaps that's why there's no war in Suzu's time. It's hard for conflicts to emerge when races and cultures can't interact. You know, that is such a fucked up thing to think about. Like, you know, the countries like in the world during these times, like in 2010 and especially right now, we are so connected more than ever thanks to the internet and all that, and it's because of that, like by that aspect too, it's because of that we have wars. Like, things are escalating even more when it comes to some conflicts between countries, and the solution to there not being wars is to close ourselves. Fuck me, man. Is this the future? Is this how we are fated to be in the 21st century and onward? Whatever, let's just skip this. I mean, ending war is obviously a good thing, but anyway, there's no point thinking about the distant future now. We need to come up with a new plan. The sunlight beats on my head, making it hard to think. I feel like I'm standing in a song. Why does the sun hate me so much? Shining in the center of the sky like he owns the damn place. Damn it, why can't I find any information on that pin? I suppose it's no skin off my back if we don't find Suzu's father. As long as I fix the time machine, nothing else matters. So why do I feel so bad about my lack of progress? I really don't know. It's because you care, Rintaro. Suzu is your friend too, so you care about that. I mean, if you didn't care, then you wouldn't have run. You wouldn't have run like all the damn time trying to catch her Suzu in those road lines before, and during that one time where you finally caught her and had that party with her, nonetheless, despite not finding her father. Maybe I'm just frustrated by my own powerlessness. I can't save Mayuri. I can't fix Suzu's time machine. I can't even help Kurisu with a time leap upgrade. So what am I good for?